Good day, grade 9. We are going to do exercise 30 today. Now, exercise 30 is on page 4 of chapter 3. So we are just going to do an explanation, and I'm going to explain to you how it works when a debtor settles or pays part of his account. He used the business sold goods on credit to the debtor. He owes the money. He owes it to the business. And now how do we record the debtor's payment in our books? Okay, now first of all, I want you to look at the instruction here of exercise 30, and I just want you to look at these question marks and how to calculate these question marks. Now we know that debtors control account, the total there, is compiled out of your individual debtors. Now if we have that amount and we've got D. King's amount, then of course Goldman is the other amount. So those three together must be the same as my debtors control. Right, so just calculate that and you will see it's 12,200 Rand. Now what I've done is I entered in the books the cash sales and the credit sales. The cash sales that go to the cash receipts journal and the credit sales that go to the debtors journal. There's my debtors journal with all the transactions, and this is work that you know. This is work that you have been doing for the past couple of weeks. Also, in the cash receipts journal, I entered all the cash sales and I finished that. I did a few entries here so that we don't take too long on the videos. Now, gentlemen, I just want you to look at the instructions, and date numbers on the 7th, they say issued invoice number 36 to F. Stones for trading stock sold on credit. Now those entries I did for you. So it's F. Stones 36 and the entry in the debtors journal. Right. On the 11th, the same story, King and Stones, and also the entries in the debtors journal. Again on the 14th, same story. And then on the 16th, cash sales. Okay, that would go to the creditors or to the cash receipts journal, and there's my cash sales of 13,200 Rand and all the other entries. Now, what we do now is on the 19th, received a check from 10,400 Rand from F. Stones and issued a receipt 186 to him. So we received a check and we received the money from Stones. Where would we enter it? We will enter it in the cash receipts journal. Right. What we issue to the debtor is a receipt. He goes away with it with the original receipt, and we keep the duplicate receipt. So the source document involved is a receipt. Okay, so let's do the entry. On the 19th, we received the check 10,400 from F. Stones, and we issued a receipt 186. Okay, in my cash receipts journal, 186 on the 19th, F. Stones. So now you write the name of the debtor. Okay, what did you receive from him? You received an amount of 10,400 Rand, and that is what I'll write in, 10,400 Rand. Okay, I'm not going to bank that because there's another entry on that day. And now you will see that there's a new column, debtors control, and we enter it also in the debtors control column. Okay, so we do the same with received a check from Goldman's 12,388 in part payment of his account. So he just pays a part or a certain amount on his debt. He doesn't pay everything, but you don't worry about that. You just write what they say. So 12,388, and there you go. 187, and that's Goldman. And what is he paying? He's paying 12,388, and you enter it 12,388. And in my debtors control column, 12,388. Right. In this case, I can bank this 12,388 because there was no other entry. And then I go to the next on the 30th, and there is where we receive a check again from Stones, 12,190. We issue a receipt and we do the entry 12,190. So there's Stones again, 12,190. Okay, and together with the sales, it's 18,290, and of course 12,190 in my debtors control column. Right, I've added up everything for you, so you can just pause and you can just copy this in your books, and I will show you how the posting works. Now, gentlemen, the first thing that we need to do is we need to post to the debtors ledger. Right, now to the debtors ledger, I decided to show you F Stones. I'll put the Goldman and the other debtor, I'll put it on Google Classroom for you, but I'm just going to do one debtor and the posting to his account. Otherwise, the video gets very, very long. Okay, so what happens now? Now we take the cash receipts journal and we take the debtors journal and we find Stones. Okay, now Stones, the first time we had Stones, a transaction for Stones was on the 7th. Okay, now you know this. We entered the account rendered. Okay, that was given to you in the information page. On the 7th, the invoice was, I don't know what the invoice was. What was the invoice? It was invoice number 36. And that was invoice number, that was 38. And on the 26th, it was 43. Okay, so this is work that you know. An invoice for credit sales from the DJ. It's debited with 15,400 and the balance increases with the 27,000. It now becomes 27,700. The same happened on the 11th for the credit sales. So, gentlemen, this is work that you know. We have done that in the past couple of weeks. So every time when it's debited, we increase the balance. And remember, debit is always plus and credit is minus. And remember, it's an asset. Right. Now, what happened on the 19th? So you go to your cash receipts journal and we find the 19th and you will see, okay, now we did Stones again. So keep your order. Okay, so the first time we dealt with Stones was on the 7th and then on the 11th. And then you have to compare your debtors journal. Okay, Stones, these are Stones, these are Stones. We've done that. These are Stones, but that's on the 26th. So you have to go in date order. Right, the next time that we had something to do with Stones was on the 19th. And what happened? Stones paid his account 10,400 Rand. Okay, so what do we do now? How do we post this to F Stones' account in the debtors ledger? Right, now he pays. What source document is involved? It's a receipt. Yes, so we can write receipt. And the receipt was receipt number 186. Okay, so 186. It comes from the CRJ11. Now, what happens to his account? Gentlemen, his account is now credited. Do you agree? Because it's an asset, it decreases when he pays. That is going to decrease. Do you agree? Okay, so I'm going to write, what did he pay? He paid 10,400 Rand, and we're going to say 10,400 Rand. And what happens to my balance? Now, this balance is going to decrease. Do you agree? And this now becomes 33,660. Right. And then after that, you go find Stones again. And the next time we had Stones, we had a transaction with Stones was on the 26th, when we had credit sales for 11,900, and you make that entry 11,900. And now, gentlemen, what happens to his account? You know that his account now increases. So I'm going to debit his account again. It increases, and it now becomes what is this? 45,560. Right. On the 30th, what happened on the 30th? We got another amount from Stone, 12,190. 12,190 on the 30th, it was 188, and we make that entry in the debtors ledger. It was a receipt. It is 188. It was in the CRJ11, and on the credit side, do you agree? On the credit side, 12,190, and now what happens to the balance? Now the balance decreased because he paid back of the money that he owed us. So it now becomes 33,370. So that is how the posting to the debtors ledger works. Now, remember, in the cash receipts journal, next to Stone, I have to write D3 and D3. 3. And you are going to do on your own the same with Goldman and post to his account. Also take your debtors journal into account. Right, gentlemen, so you can pause and check and pause and check until you know exactly what to do. I'm going to explain to you the posting to the general ledger in the next video.